Oh my god, that reminds me, I had babe. Okay, there was this granddad. Okay, you know that noise that he just made, the like real, I don't know what to call it without like making the noise. Ugh, it's disgusting. Anyways, everyone spits here. Like it's so normalized, right? This granddad, he forgot that his grandchild was next to him, and he proper hacked up, like you could tell it was a juicy one, and he spat on his grandchild. He looked down at him and he was like,
That's madness.
"Hi, do you speak English? I don't speak Chinese."
So I was living in Italy at the time and I saw a job offer for a company based in California. And I knew that at that point I was already looking to move away from Europe. Been there for almost 10 years at that point, and I knew it was time to change. So I moved back to the US with the hopes and plans of working for this company based in California. But then I realized that the company wasn't actually based in California, but here in Shenzhen, China. Now the job offer was still to work at their California branch. So for me, in my mind, I was still going to work there. But on interview 3 of the 4 interviews, they broke the, what is this? How's that expression? They broke the news? You don't break news. It is breaking news.
Yeah.
I was informed that the job would actually be in Shenzhen, China, and they asked me if I was willing to move, and I was really not sure. My first instinct was yes, hell yes, I've never been to China. Then I started to think about it a little more. You know, there were a lot of other plans that I had in motion with my life, you know, starting again in the United States. So I wasn't 100% sure. But then I was like, all right, let's just go with my gut, and now I'm here in China. Now, I have gotten some homesicknesses, which is not something I'm really used to. I've moved around a lot and I've never really gotten homesick, but I do miss some aspects of Italy. I miss some aspects of the US and even some aspects of France. From Italy, I definitely miss just the pure, exquisite Italian food and that laid back mentality. Living there was one of the most happy, I would say, time periods in terms of just, you know, not stressing about anything. I'm very much happy now here. I'm moving a lot more quickly with my career and all, but it's a different kind of happiness. About the US, I don't know, the US just seems to have everything, and there is that aura of opportunity there. And there's just something about like everyday life in the US that just feels good, and I do miss that. And I miss driving a lot. That is something I don't do here because I'm not even allowed to. I need a Chinese license, but also the public transport is really good, like in Europe. So I wouldn't even use a car if I got a license. And China has this feeling when you're living here that you feel very much, and you're reminded quite often that you are a foreigner. First of all, the language. I'm studying it slowly, not really very efficiently, but I'm doing a little bit at a time. And one thing that makes it a little bit more challenging is the fact that the written pinyin language, that's kind of like the phonetic language, isn't really what you see on the streets. There you see the characters. So from my experience learning languages, being able to see the words that you're learning in everyday life help very much in terms of the process of learning a new language. And here you have the characters everywhere, but when you're actually studying it, you study kind of the phonetic, the pinyin, and so that disconnect makes it feel like a much more challenging process. Also, you know, being stared at is something that I've gotten used to, and realistically I've been stared at in multiple countries, but you know, it's a bit more, especially when my girlfriend and I are out, and if we show the slightest amount of affection, we're definitely being looked at, which doesn't bother me, but it is just like a subconscious reminder that you're not really from here. That said, I feel like I stare at the people here more than they stare at me. Not to mention the food. Food here is very different than food in the Western world. They do have a lot of the same chained restaurants, but they're often quite different with a Chinese style menu, which is good, but you know, some of the classics you do miss. I feel like no matter the convenience of constantly ordering food, I do miss, and I feel like Sasha feels the same, I think we do miss a little bit the home cooking style, which there are supermarkets here. It's just that my apartment isn't really kitted with a full kitchen, and we could, you know, buy things from the supermarket and make things. It's just the ordering is so convenient and so normalized here that you're not as incentivized to go to the supermarket, cook a big meal and do all the dishes and all that. So maybe we should try that again. I don't know. I guess another thing I'm not really used to is the fact that everything here is so punctual and so organized, which is really good. I would say it's even more efficient than the US in terms of getting bureaucratic things done and just everyday things, schedules, appointments, everything is very punctual. Metro times are always perfect. Even the stoplights in traffic literally have countdowns to when the light is going to change. So everything just feels like so mathematical here. And that's just something I'm not used to. Why don't you show everyone the bag I just got you from Mongolia?
So cute. She's me-sized.
She is you-sized.
She's over the shoulder, which is even cuter. Means I don't have to hold her.
Kinda. You look like a ladder. All right, babe, tell me about your day.
It was okay. In the metro, there was this guy and his breath stunk, and he coughed right next to me, and I wanted to throw up so bad. It was disgusting. Luckily I made a quick escape, and now I'm here in one of the most beautiful spots around our home, and yeah, that's it.
We have this issue that
It's a serious problem.
it's a problem. It's the fact that the dough and the pizza here doesn't make us feel bloated, which is what we're used to in other parts of the world. So it just makes it not seem as unhealthy as it probably is. So we want to have it too often, which we won't. We've had it the past 2 days. But that's also because on Tuesdays and Wednesdays they are half off. Don't give me the side. That's the problem. We'll say we're not getting it, and then we give each other the side eye. Next thing you know, we're walking to Domino's for pizza.
It feels healthy. It doesn't feel like a problem, even though it is.
So tonight we're gonna go healthy somehow.
I always want chicken. Ooh, duck. Should we have duck? I probably looked crazy. Sorry, I got excited. I forgot that duck was a thing. It's because I had it so much.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I've had it so much that, you know, when you eat too much of something, you start like demonizing it. But now I want it again.
While we figure out what to eat, one thing I really do like about the city of Shenzhen, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, is the fact that it's a beautiful mix between nature and modern futuristic buildings. So you have, yes, the crazy light show, but then you have these beautiful trees and nature all around, and they always mix the two. It's not like, it's like a futuristic term for like cyber, natural, futuristic-y stuff. I don't know, but it just looks cool. In general, China is also super quiet and super peaceful. I never hear anyone raising their voice. Yeah, you get some
babies crying either.
Never.
That's a big thing.
She's never heard a baby cry here, and I don't think I have either. The only time it can get a little hectic is with traffic. Sometimes there's a lot of honking depending on what's going on, and usually it's not because something crazy is happening in the street. It's just they'd like to honk. Peaceful. But in general, super peaceful, super relaxing, and it just makes cooling off at the end of the day so much more relaxing.
Oh my god, that reminds me, I had a baby. Okay, there was this granddad, okay, he, you know that noise that he just made, the like real, I don't know what to call it without like making the noise. It's disgusting. Anyways, everyone spits here. Like, it's so normalized, right? This granddad, he forgot that his grandchild was next to him, and he proper hacked up, like you could tell it was a juicy one, and he spat on his grandchild. He looked down at him and he was like,
That's madness.
okay, so this is for the Dragon Boat Festival. It's basically what this says. It's for not only blocking off bad spirits, the door, but also it repels mosquitoes. Yeah. So this is mugwort, and this what does this have inside? I don't remember, but it had like some kind of jade fragrances. Oh, it smells so good. Smell that.
Tonight I do need to edit this video and then start editing the video of this past weekend, because my company had a team building trip and we went to Mongolia / Inner Mongolia. So I have a lot to edit there. We have FPV shots, regular drone shots, this camera shots, pictures taken with the Fuji look really good. So I have a lot of editing to do. That's probably gonna come out this weekend. So yeah. So in terms of work, I am a product manager / video specialist for a company here called Pick Social. We recently launched a new product called Zawa, which is basically a video editor with AI features built in, with a bunch of templates similarly to CapCut, but a lot more aesthetic and a lot more based off what's actually trending. This is not sponsored. I guess kind of in a way it is, but it's not. So a lot of my job is interpreting things into English, you know, bringing that American perspective, creating templates based off of trends, doing some social media content as well, and coming up with AI features and AI ideas. So if you guys have any, then shoot me a comment. Really exciting for Sasha is she is going to be starting work actually next week. And really excited for her. Unfortunately, our schedules are not going to overlap in a perfect way, but this is kind of her first big girl job, and we're both very excited.